We're up to Armageddon Part 19. This really is the ever-ready bunny of the creation. Alright. Everybody knows I talk for Yah when I'm reading, so when I say I mean him. When Yah speaks...
And I wish it was you.
I will be 73.53 years old on July the 22nd, 2017. Now, I have to mention here, this is really significant because it was on that date, July 22nd, 2004, that I was thrown out of the home in Canada, and I was headed on my way back to Australia. And Adam, who was sitting beside me, was with me on that flight, but it was July the 22nd. Now it's all this marvellous, I've described it before as a tapestry. And in the world of tapestries, they have to be perfect front and back to pass muster. And with Yah's creation, that's what it is, perfection front and back. So it was this day, July 22nd, that I was turfed out. Yah had his Kundalini before that, but anyway, it's all part of the tapestry. So just 30 days later, the eclipse of August the 21st will occur. Then 21 days later, on 9/11, Bashar al-Assad will be 52 years old. The 212th eclipse will have occurred, so we're talking about August the 21st, 2017, as you know, is the 212th eclipse in the pyramid prophecy. The moon, the lunation being the chronograph or the clock. Okay, so it's ending the pyramid capstone prophecy. Prophecy states the Lord will destroy those who destroy the earth. The finger points to the proclamation of 1492, after the King and Queen of Spain have rounded up the Jews for usury, child sacrifice, cannibalism, blood sacrifice, you know, the usual in their world of Jewish ritual murder. In retaliation, the Prince of the Jews in Constantinople ordered all Jews to raise their sons to infiltrate all Christian nations and even become Christians in order to kill Christians. All nations have suffered from that command, as they did just that. They raised them up to become doctors and lawyers, apothecaries, known as pharmacists today. They married into Christian royal families. They became the priests and the elders of the churches. And today, of course, we have the abomination that is the Jesuits. And the Jew, Jesuit Jew, Francis as the Pope over the Church of Rome. The ultimate proof of my resurrection is the Shroud of Turin, which is 2 pieces of cloth, so finely stitched together that I had to tell the shroud researchers that it is 2 pieces of cloth, the larger with the image measuring at 171 by 39.5 inches, for an area of 6,754.5 square inches. However, the 2 pieces stitched together for a 171 by 43 inches, that totals 7,353 square inches. Now, as seen in previous uploads, by placing waypoints directly north of St. Margaret's Women's Hospital, where I was reborn, so you've got one at 6,754.5 kilometres, so this is measuring from the South Pole, and then the other, in the fullness, 7,353 kilometres from the South Pole, then join the two, so that straight line going up from St. Margaret's Hospital through the two, into the centre of Tugum. This is where we live today, and the address just happens to be number 11, Shelcott Street. That's, I've showed you before, that place with the really, really blue kitchen and the odd bathroom. Well, that's the centre of Tugum.
And the blue driveway.
And the blue driveway, yeah. So, then back to the 6754.5 line from the South Pole contains an area of 4,443 square kilometres. Now, for 3 is the number of times that the word God is found in 3,877 verses in the King James 1611. And the hospital St. Margaret, where Yah was reborn, happens to measure 3,877.6 miles from the South Pole. Now, looking at the diagram, the green area being that area Yah is demonstrating, Yah built 2 homes in Canada. They were 444.3 kilometres apart. Right, I'm just reading through myself. We have done this before, but the middle paragraph there, my birth as Jesus, June 17th, 2 BC, then died April the 3rd, 33 AD, is a time of 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 days. So, Yah as Jesus lived 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 days. Multiplied by pi. Now, you're all familiar with the pi number, 3.14159, it goes on and on and on. But multiplied by pi in its fullness is a measure of 38,776.6. So this is, and 3141 in the Greek concordance means witness. So it is telling you that the pi number, 3.141 yada yada yada, is the witness to Yah in his creation when he measures it. So it means a witness foretelling of future events. So his life as Jesus multiplied by pi tells us exactly where the hospital that he is reborn into is located. St. Margaret Maternity Ward. Now,
get wrecked. I'm sorry, but that's...
Now, I'm speaking this way.
Look, it's taken me 8 years to finally start comprehending this. For those out there that aren't mathematically inclined or don't have the mind of God or goddess, holy smokes.
So you're hearing out of here. It's taken 8 years to get to this point. We'll do a FaceTime where Adam will tell his story of the outline. It really is.
Just that alone, okay? Jesus said times pi equals boom.
Now, pi is the 16th letter in Greek. And that's the brightest star.
Spica.
And Spica, the 16th brightest star in the universe. Like, hello.
God, folks.
So
jeez.
you're all hearing Adam's reactions because finally
to
the fold.
Look, I know Brian's mentioned mental blowjobs before, but you really don't realize until you actually realize, until you're actually able to comprehend. That's just one small facet,
well,
and I could write a book about that one thing.
This is that hello moment.
Well, this is the second slide.
Hold on to your hats, folks.
Now here, now let's look what Yah's saying down here on the right. St. Margaret Hospital, and this is the latitude and longitude here, is located by pi, because when the King's Chamber is located in the Milky Way galaxy by the Fibonacci. Now the Fibonacci, is the life force, it's the number of life force. The 1.618. It's numbers and it means life. Now, let me just tell you that the difference in age between your oldest sister, Ali, and your birth is 0.618. So it's the Fibonacci number. Hello? It's creation. And you're just waking up now.
Holy smokes.
All right. So now Yah has done this in previous slides where he's overlaid the Fibonacci, the spiral, over the galaxy and the pyramid inside the galaxy, because that's what it's all about. And of course, the spiral ends on the King's Chamber, which is what we laid down in. He laid down in on October 11th in 2013, the King in his coffer. It's made to his measure.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
The pyramid is all about him, the altar to the Lord. Wow. So let's move on to slide 3. Now, what have we got here? Okay, this time we've got the time set for, now remember this is UTC, London time, Australia is ahead by 10 hours. So it was set for January the 10th, 1944 at 16:22 UTC. But it's my birth hour in Sydney, Australia, January the 11th at 2:22 a.m. 1944. So we can see the length of the three sides in nautical miles, and then inside the area. So the three sides, it's actually 4 legs there because it's a very it's 4 legs. So it's 17,713.3 nautical miles.
It's 3 legs though.
So this is to the
There's
South
3
Pole.
legs, is there?
Only 3 legs.
Because the
Yeah, it says 4, but so it's not the South Pole there, it's not what we're measuring it to.
no.
One's the sun location, the other's the moon.
When it's
Oh,
yellow,
okay.
it's the sun, and this is the moon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the South Pole is down. So the South and the North Pole is like an anchor. People have asked about it. What do you always measure to the South Pole?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was reborn into the Southern Hemisphere. Australia's in the Southern Hemisphere. So the natural anchor point to first begin measuring to is to the South Pole. That determines everything. And so on the Earth, it is Yah's rebirth location that is the centre of distance, you like, for all the creation. That's why he's constantly measuring against his rebirth location. Because he is time and space, and he uses the measure of time and space.
Okay.
So it's always his
just
rebirth location, 105
Yes.
Rothschild Avenue, Sydney,
Yes.
Australia.
Yes.
And his rebirth day and hour. January 11th,
Yes.
written Australian way, 11th of January, 2:22 a.m. So now in the scriptures,
But I'm just by going off of what I'm seeing here, right now,
Yeah.
you know, I'm getting close because I'm trying to look at it and start to comprehend it just by reading it, looking at myself.
right,
Okay, so simply put, this is the birth of where God is, right? This is January 10th. This is the sun and the moon coinciding with the 10th of January, basically being his birthday, right? No, it's the 11th, but yeah. The length, look, the length between these 3 points, right, is 177, which the geometry on 177 being eclipse, which these are about to do. Basically, the numbers.
well, this has already occurred. See, this is his rebirth hour. Right, so
Okay,
this has
yeah.
already occurred. Now I'm just looking at it. This measure is not back to his rebirth location. It's here to Tugam.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
So it's always his rebirth location, and then we can measure to Tugam. Like today, I asked him to, well, what are those numbers when measured to here?
Mm-hmm.
Because here is where the end occurs. So you've got in the beginning, literally, his birth,
Yeah.
and the end of the prophecy is our location today, which was confirmed when I asked him to measure.
Mm-hmm.
That was confirmed.
Yeah.
So if we're just reading what is written inside this sphere, if you like, is 2378053 square nautical miles.
Okay.
And what he's saying here is keep in mind that the 7353 kilometres from the South Pole, so the South Pole's down here, that mark, that where that area was,
Yes.
leads straight up to Tugam here,
Mhm.
where inside the area is the 4443 number, the God number, the area inside, those, you'll see it later.
Yes, okay.
Bamboozling right now, but alright. So what have we got? We've got 17713.3. So that's the 3 legs, not, well, I don't know why this is showing 4, yeah, I'll have to alter that, but it's 3 legs, which in years is 48.489 years. Now, 48 is the height of the pyramid with the capstone in place.
4.8.
484.89 feet.
Uh-huh.
That's the height of the pyramid with the capstone in place.
Yeah.
Now, Armageddon
So
series.
sorry,
is all-
just because I was confusing myself. So this number, how did we get this number? What is that coinciding with that number?
Well,
What is the significance?
the length of the sides.
Okay, yes.
But as years,
Yes, okay.
right? as years, it's the...
Okay, so 17713.3 days equals 48.489 years.
That's right.
And 48489 is the pyramid completed height.
Right, yeah, the 489. So
Holy...
that's right, so it's 484 feet,
Nice.
0.89
Yes.
feet to the apex. Now,
Yes.
this whole Armageddon series has been about the capstone.
Yes,
Because
yes,
it's the
yes,
last
yes, that makes
10
a lot of sense!
No.
Oh, exposed! Yeah, so everything, oh my goodness, oh my
So the
goodness.
last 10... Now, were you
Oh
here?
shit, oh wow.
You weren't here, you were still in Poland, weren't you? Dex was here. When...
Yeah.
Or was Dex here?
Was it Dex or
Yes.
was it Chuka? Oh, sorry.
Well, Joel was here, Karen was here.
Yes.
I thought Dex was still here.
I thought it was Chuka. It's here at that
Or
time.
maybe it was, but maybe it was. But anyway, we had approved because we went down to watch. So, prior, up to the summit platform here, right, before the capstone is in place, 202 masonry layers equaling 202 solar eclipses. Now, the last one that occurred at the summit platform, as it is now, right, was November the 14th, 2012. So we've got 11/14/2012.
Yeah.
So that was the 202nd.
Okay,
And Yah had measured all the 202, and of course it's all about him.
yes.
But it's literally like left it there. Okay, that's it. Until we started this Armageddon series, because something kicked in and says, wait on, it's not over yet, because we've still got the
Well,
capstone, which is another
gee.
10 solar eclipses.
And that's what I was just correlating in my mind when you said that at the beginning, is like basically with the completed capstone in place, all the numbers that come about it are preaching about the end. The complete,
Right.
the complete of
The completion.
the
And that's why...
completion.
Well, see, the November the 14th eclipse in 2012 was 942 miles from where I was born.
Yes.
That's Jesus in Greek. In total.
It's the birth... No,
And the other one was 888.8 miles from the solar eclipse on 14 days after I was born, just below the pyramid. That's Jesus again. So both ways you got to come up.
Yes.
That's your-
So when you guys were doing the numbers all the way up into the missing capstone,
Yes, 202.
Everything obviously correlates within time.
Yes.
So it's not until now, I mean, when you guys start the Armageddon, that things lined up in time that it's the completed cap.
Well, yeah, and it just, I mean, the pyramid is the altar to the Lord, but it can be likened to a time capsule, but saying that very cautiously, because in the world of bullshit out there, they run away with it's this, it's that, it's this energy.
Have you ever heard?
grid system, and it's but
Have
it's the
have
altar to the Lord.
Have you ever heard that saying? Man fear time, time fear the pyramid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that. But
That used to be I think it was an exploration show, and that's what he used to say. He said, "Man fears time, but time fears the pyramid."
Right.
And he was a Mason.
Right. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, yeah. So you see how it's all
Yes.
coming
Oh
into
my
play.
goodness.
Yeah.
Gracious
So,
me.
this is Tugam right here.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, here we go. Now, this is significant, July 22nd. Remember, that's the day I was thrown out in
Yes.
2004. That's good, because that meant I'm coming back to Australia to now find my true husband, who was the Lord.
Well, 2000 and
That was 2004.
yeah.
But on 2017, Yah's age, 73.53 years, so this is the shroud area in square inches as years, right? Where's the sun and the moon? Here we go. Now it's the four sides,
Yeah, the four legs.
the four legs. Yeah.
Because we've got Tugum, we've got his place of birth, and then we've got the sun is that the sun?
That's the sun, yes.
At what point in time though?
Well, that's
When
on
I'm
July,
73.
at the precise moment that
He was
73.5.
73.53 years.
Yeah,
old.
about 2:22 in the morning Sydney time.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
it's always
good.
against the birth hour.
All right, yeah, all right,
Okay.
yeah, got you.
All right. So inside of this now four-sided figure,
Yes.
we've got this area in square miles,
613.
6137394 square miles. However, in square kilometres, it's 15,888,000, so that's the Jesus number, 982. Okay, so, but 1588, reading the first four numbers of here in the Hebrew concordance, means Garden of Eden. Hello.
Yes.
And of course, the Jesus in Greek, 888.
Yes.
But in the Greek concordance, 1588 means to obtain salvation by Christ.
1588, and you know how funny that is, right? Like, obviously, we in the white nationalists, we'd say 1488.
1488.
The 14 words, right?
Yes.
And then obviously, if you're going to go to the 15th precept, the 15th being one above, right? So 1488 being the words that guides all of European men,
Right.
And then the one above, where do you get above God's creation? You don't. You got God. 1588 to obtain salvation by Christ.
Obtain salvation by Christ. So
And one is Alpha, or God.
Yes.
yeah. Now, for all the old right people listening out there, and we actually, you'd love it, they'll love you,
Yeah.
because Michael and David and those who have come in from the old right.
You got the eyebrow pencil, just put a little moustache on.
I will do that again.
I shaved
The
today.
church is up there.
I shaved
You
today.
should have lifted yours.
I did. I was in the shower and I was shaving and I looked in the mirror and I just went, and I served it and I looked at it and I was like, no, I need to grow this in a bit more. I'll bring back the stash, don't you worry.
We've got the shirt and the short sticker on the shirt in your closet upstairs.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so this is what it's all. It's not. I mean, the 1488 is great because what Hitler did was amazing, and he's a saint. However, nobody obtained salvation by what Hitler did. As a matter of fact,
Well, but here's the thing. This is where, and I've said this before. I think the whole emergence of the alternative right, so the re-emergence of National Socialism, right? That's 1488. What's the next step? The next step
is salvation by Christ.
The only way, like, and to think about it, like, when it comes to figuring this out with maths, equations, logic, and reason, right? That's what has created the alt-right.
Yes.
It's forcing people to look at statistics, mathematics,
Yes.
and use logic and
That's
reason, which is the precursor to Yah. So the 1488 is.
It had to occur first.
Yes, we must secure a future for our people and an existence for white children.
Yeah.
We must secure an existence for our people and a future for white children. But I believe that will lead to the 1588.
Well, of course it is. Salvation by Christ. And this is why, at the beginning, the alt-right are God's people.
Yes.
It's that mindset. It's the real man movement.
Yeah.
Real man, real woman. All right.
Incredible.
So the chosen elect by God apply. Now, this is all out of Yah's angelic concordance that was downloaded into his phone. It's not available anywhere else. It's only in his phone. And it's amazing because it goes above and beyond the concordance, which was put together by Freemasons, and they have left information out. So this is what the chosen elect by God applied to certain individuals. So I'm not talking about the whole world.
Yes.
We're not talking about, but to certain individuals. Now, what else? Look, so this here in miles, we've got 20,812.8 miles around the 4 leagues. 2081 in the Greek concordance, which is within. Hello, the inside, meaning your soul. And then the first numbers here in the square mile, 613, in the Greek concordance means to hide, secret, concealing, keeping secret.
So it's a new religion.
Absolutely. Obtain salvation by Christ in your soul.
Yeah, the chosen elect, right, so those who do...
I'll give you one example. The Jews are always talking that they had the dysphoria and they go out and they go to the Gentile nations. In that, it says the Christians in Jerusalem go to the Gentile nations.
Yeah, they are the
Not the Jews. The Christians.
Yes.
Little things that they leave out of the concordance, right?
Oh man.
All right. So this is all about the chosen elect by God to obtain salvation by Christ, who the chosen elect by God only applies to certain individuals. How? Well, it's within the inside your soul. So there's no other salvation. The world is, there's a part of the internet world out there who are so caught up on the redemption of money and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
And they're the same group, it's like the free man movement, they're the same group that have rejected the only salvation, which is the Christ. He's here on the planet.
Yes,
Yeah. So,
well, it's almost like elevation of self is complete annihilation of self, in a sense.
well,
Because what you're looking at is you have people trying to obtain salvation by their means, and
Yes.
salvation in their eyes could be debt-free, could be...
well, it is. That's
Yes.
what's running America right now.
Yes, and it's basically whatever surrounds the circumference of comfortable living.
You're closer to God living on the street.
Yes.
The law,
live there.
the law of lower man. The
I
law
lived on the street when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do we live today? We live
Very
humbly, simply, and week to week, or rather fortnight to fortnight.
Okay, buying cars and that sort of stuff.
Trying to, and we finally succeeded this time. So, yes, those who are aspiring to having control over great riches so that they can, even for purposes of going to help the world,
It's frivolous. It's meaningless.
unless Yah is in control, then the world will end up in the shit that it has come through.
It's like my experience of going out and trying to fix things on my very own without listening. Right? It will always balls up. It will always mess up.
You gotta go.
You have to. You really do. Holy smokes. Okay.
Alright, so we're still on July 22nd this year.
Yes.
What are we up to today? Today's the 15th, so we're talking about a week. Measuring the sun distance here to the Redeemer statue in Rio. You've seen this many times in movies, and Yah's always referred to it. He actually wrote a book about it.
Yes.
Right, okay. So that measurement is 2,861.0 nautical miles. Okay. What is 2861? Well, it's really important sacred number.
Yes.
All right. Reducing the base of the pyramid in its fullness, it was 36,524.2424, which is 100 years.
Yes.
Each day is 1 inch, 4 sides around. So total is 100 years. Minus this number, 286.1 pyramid inches we're talking about, which is the mystery of the 202nd eclipse to the end eclipse. So now we're talking about the last 10 from the platform, which was November 14th, 2012. Then to the last eclipse of the entire pyramid prophecy, August 21st coming up. Then we've got September 23rd, what the world has been focusing on, and the Virgin Jupiter birth. We've got the 5 virgins prophecy. There's actually, it's scripture that there's 10 virgins, 5 are ready and 5 are not.
Yes.
And the 5 that are ready have their lamps filled with oil. So when they hear the call of the bridegroom approaching
at night,
at midnight,
darkest hour.
The darkest hour, so we're talking midnight, whatever. At the darkest hour, then they're ready to go. They've got enough oil to. But the 5 that didn't have enough oil in their lamps, they're saying to the 5 that are ready, can we have some of your oil so we can make it too? And those 5 virgins say, no, you've got to go into the marketplace to buy your own oil. In the meantime, those 5 virgins go to the bridegroom. They hear the call. But the 5 that had to go first to buy the oil, to be ready to make the journey, by the time they get to the wedding, the door is closed. And they're on the outside. They can't get in. So it's a parable.
No, absolutely. It's a parable of people in the know of Brian, but still on the precipice of trying to get their shit organized and doing what needs to be done.
Which is to focus on his teaching.
Yes.
Nothing else. Drop everything else.
Yeah.
You don't need to be...
No, well, you don't need to be, again, like we all know that everything is all designed to distract, to disembowel your souls in its nature. It's to corrupt, and it's to distract, 100%.
Right, and somebody wrote recently about this great other focus that is going on, that, look folks, it's another Trojan horse, because the same evil people that were controlling the systems before have presented this to us.
Yeah,
So
it's ever evolving and becoming ever more appealing. People think that just because they're woke and they're fighting social justice warriors and they know about the Jews, they still consume themselves around that whole social narrative.
yeah,
It's about removing yourself from the social narrative
totally.
because it is completely godless.
Yes,
Obviously, you know, the protocols of Zion, we shall forbid Christ by any means necessary.
yes, which is to present the strategies that are so appealing over here. And talk,
Yes, well-
talk about the ascension of the planet and the souls, and we're all one
But
and all the rest of it.
well, it's all to appeal to the left lobe thought, right? Not right lobe, which has to do with the metaphysical, and the right lobe, I honestly think, has to do with more logic than the left does. Because if the left was so predominant about logic, then how is everybody believing the bullshit that's going on
Yeah,
now?
well, the left is like the touchy-feely, feel good. Don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just you're going to love your way into the kingdom. No, as a matter of fact, there's scriptures that the kingdom of God is brought about literally by the violence of the prayers of the righteous men.
Yes.
So it's not a laid back. It's something that has to be
no,
grasped.
well, you're dealing with the most alpha force on the face, the most alpha force, right? And
Truth is cool.
yes.
No. Now, so let's read it. So we've got five versions. Yah calls it the five versions. Prophecy of the 10 tribes of Europe. So what have we got so far in the 10 that are out of the 10 nations of Europe? The 5 that are ready. Well, Hungary through Viktor Orban. He's received the information. He's doing what God asked him to do. Poland enthroned Jesus Christ as King toward the end of last year. And that stood up, and your experience?
I never knew that the Mass that John Paul II, him being the Antichrist himself as well, but the Mass, when they held it, and this is right before the end of communism in Poland, where they decried that they said, we want God.
God, yes. Well, that's their salvation.
Like, no matter if it's Satan up on the podium, if he gets them to chant that, and that's what's in every one of their hearts.
Yes.
Like,
The intent.
that's incredible.
So, and then Germany has to come into the fold because of Hitler.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the arriving that's happening there.
So you have Austria as well.
Yes. And then Russia under Putin is doing what Yah wants him to do, cleaning the place up. He has sworn to defend Christianity. This is why he is aligning himself with Syria. It is Syria that is the seat of the ancient Christian church, and Putin has sworn to defend that.
Now, is the fifth one still open?
Well, yeah,
Well,
who's
We're
going
only
to
talking about Europe.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Assyria, we're not talking... But Russia gets in because they are doing what I asked.
Absolutely.
And I did consecrate Russia, which the Popes wouldn't do.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the
9th
ninth
September.
Now, just going off of based of, wouldn't it be most fitting if it was the United Kingdom?
It would be very fitting.
Because then and I only say that I am elaborating on the modern version of the United Kingdom, which entails Ireland and Scotland.
That's right.
Right? If they were all separate, of course, I would think the fifth would be the fitting being Scotland or even Ireland. But I believe it has.
The United Kingdom includes France.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, reading recently, even though they've had their election and voted in Macron, which who knows what that, but the French people themselves are rising up against the Muslim invasion. Now, interestingly, Scotland itself has never evicted the Jews. The Jews have been evicted 359 times out of the nations. So there's been multiple times that they've been kicked out.
Yes.
And it was somebody who found us recently on our channel because I featured it, I read it. He was the one who created the list of the 300. It took him 12 months to do it, 12 months of research. And he has his own channel called The Jewish Question. But he found our video and said, I'm the creator of the list. And I said, well done. And I found that through Daily Stormer.
Did he? Was it detailed as to why they were kicked out as well? So
Yes, he presented it as a chart.
Wow.
When, why, by who, all the rest of it.
So there's 109 nations, but there's all these cities that were really individual kingdoms. They also kicked him
Yeah.
out.
Well,
Chevron in
today,
Italy, for example.
Well, that's because what I heard ages ago was that it was like you had your base sect, which was like over 100, but within those little base sections of Europe and countries, it was over 1,000 or something like that. 1,000 different principalities, kingships, villages, and
yeah. So the most recent was 2014 when it was someplace in Argentina, I think.
Yes.
But on,
Yes.
and it was just a community area who didn't want them anymore.
Well, it wasn't almost like just villagers, really.
Yes, villagers. They
Yeah,
rose up,
villagers, yeah.
kick
Yeah.
out.
They had the same problem.
So-
Skin sacrifice.
Yeah.
Thrown out.
All right,
They can throw them
so
off the planet.
let's move on to the next slide. So, right now, same date, July 22nd, next week, to the Great Pyramid. So we're measuring the moon position and the sun position back to the Great Pyramid, right?
Mm-hmm.
The altar to the Lord. And this distance here, 11,638.4 kilometres, and we have the ticket numbers that we purchased. This was the 30th of September, 2013. We're in Egypt, and the one who was with us bought the tickets for us on our behalf. So there are 3 tickets, £80 each, so you've got your 888 Egyptian pounds. But here, the ticket numbers, we've got 1161, 1162 and 1163. These are the antechamber numbers, the width of the antechamber that you have to
Not
go
only
through.
that. The age I was when I married.
I was just about to say, that's just the antechamber, so of course this is going to correlate to some event in Brian's life.
Well, multiple events.
Exactly, it's a
And
reoccurring
it's a
constant.
It's a process. It just goes over and over again.
Synchronicity.
So
The tapestry.
jeez, wow.
Think of it, there's a lot out, and I just keep on pulling them out the hat, right?
Now look at this one. You'll appreciate this. So now from the sun to the altar, 9,352.4 kilometres, and 935 in the Greek concordance is king, and it's the license plate on Yah's car. Because now we have 2 cars. I have my own car, which we just got recently. It doesn't leak, but it has license plate. It has license plate number 206, which
God,
is the
being
width of
you
the
was
Queen's
just.
chamber.
Oh.
Now do you see the significance of the 2 cars, king and queen,
It's
on
just,
the
you
license
guys
plate?
cannot escape
For
it.
those listening out there, we do not choose license plate. We just let the angels do it for us. Remember.
This would just. It'd be like a mosquito that you can't get away from you.
Well, that's totally right.
Worse than that, how about a couple of wasps? I was sticking it right in the arse, right?
A crotch, please. They're okay.
So still on July 22nd, the moon to our home here in Tugum today, this distance, 8538.9 miles. In the Hebrew, 8538 is to marvel, wonder, marvelously, be amazed, be dumbfounded, be astonished, which is what you're exhibiting right now as you, for the first time, are taking this all in. Drinking the living waters.
Okay.
Wouldn't you rather be working with Paul?
No. No.
Right, next one.
Wow.
So now this is a bit of a switch. We're going up into the heavens. You've got to get used to Yah and his many tangents. Prophecy foretells events to be fulfilled. So we're going back in time now. October the 11th, 1 BC, right? Predicts Daphne Golightly. She was born on October the 11th in the year 1912, right? Her son Jesus, round 2, is Jupiter. That's the Jesus planet, 88,800. The king planet. So is the Jupiter birth seen here in Virgo, Virgo's womb, the woman. So we're talking about Daphne. The sun in her sign of Libra is judgment. Mars.
Now, this being Virgo is technically the woman laying on her back.
That's
isn't it?
right.
Yes. And this being the womb.
Yes.
Ready to give birth.
Yeah, so this is
Yes.
this is that Daphne's birth itself.
You know how Presley had his mother and it was Graceland? Well, I always wanted to get my mother a big house and call it Daffy Land.
Now,
And it seemed to like Presley.
so the sun is in her sign, Libra, judgment. Mars is war on Scorpio with Venus, which is virtue, crushing it, as in Scorpio's body, all while the moon is in Leo. So when you think Leo, just think my rebirth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh,
So again, October the 11th in the year 1 BC foretells of Daphne Golightly's birth, same date, in 1912, in Virgo, giving birth to Jesus II, Jupiter, the King planet, her son making war with Scorpio. Now, in Yah's life, how many Scorpios in life? 3 Scorpios. Think of your father, Scorpio. All of them, yeah, all of them made his life despair. You know, difficult despair, just all mentally ill.
I'm
hard,
pretty sure.
whatever.
I'm pretty sure. Graham. Dad, Scorpio. Adzi, Scorpio.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, this is very significant. Yes.
Okay.
Because I'll just tell the world, Adam, like our son Adam, you know, parallels with all mankind, if you like. And
Waking up.
yes, so Adam waking up, even though it has taken him 8 years, but it's been an adventure.
Oh, yes, yes.
You're going to change your name to Boomerang to keep coming back.
Oh, it's like I told everyone. I'm like, I don't get it right. I don't mess up once, twice, 3 times. I'm the dude that messes up 10 times. But by the 10th time, I've really got my head around it. I really do.
Excuse me, moving on. Now you've got the sun here at 6:57 days. 657 besides the sun?
657 is the nuclear fusion rate of the sun.
Yes.
That's how many lords there are in the New Testament.
Yeah. So the nuclear fusion rate is 657 million tons of hydrogen per second, converts to 652.5 million tons of helium per second.
I'd like to write that down.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, just ask the list. Okay, right.
It just helps. So the nuclear fusion rate of the sun is
657 million tons of hydrogen per second.
Million tons of hydrogen per second.
Yes. That converts
652.5 helium.
And it is what? 652.
Yeah.
0.5 million tons.
62.5 million tons per second.
62.5 million tons
of helium, He.
So it's 4.25.
4.5
sorry.
is energy.
Is energy in light.
4.5 million tons of
so it's 4.5 million tons
per second becomes energy, light, heat. Now,
wow.
it's always the King James 1611 Bible. It's Satan's Bible, but the trap is in the numbers, right?
Yes, okay.
The word Lord in the New Testament only is found 657. Right.
Yeah,
Okay?
I'm starting to get it.
Right. Now in the entire Bible,
yes,
the word Lord is found 6,666 times.
The word, sorry, say it again.
The word Lord.
Is found.
In the whole Bible.
Yes, it's found how many times?
666.
Yes.
Now,
right,
on the moment of resurrection and my conception, the earth travelling around the sun was travelling at 66,666.666 miles per hour.
So basically, it was just going. So basically, when he's born, everything in the universe is going, Lord, 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 Lord.
And every star out there is producing the same fusion rate. So when you look up, you see all the stars are all saying Jesus, Lord. Every star.
Because of
Same
the
nuclear
same
fusion rate.
nuclear fusion rate. Okay? We're right with that one? We'll move right along. Okay, so let's let's...
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. So prophecy foretells events to be fulfilled. This time, we've got the August 21st eclipse, which is the last of the 212 solar eclipses, which is the entirety of the Great Pyramid layer.
From the first layer to the
very top.
To the very top.
Capstone in place this
okay.
time.
So it's 212.
212, yes.
With capstone in place.
With capstone in place. So we've completed 211 of them. We're watching now for 212, which will be 2 days after my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we have a second Star of Bethlehem on the same date. So we're talking about August the 21st, on the same date, but in 1 BC. So in 1 BC, it's occurring, but it's prophesying about now, today, right? It's Jupiter in the womb of Virgo to be overtaken and conceived by Venus.
Venus is female. Everything on Venus is female named. Everything. Right? It's also got the largest volcano, Olympus Mons. But yeah, there's over 1 million volcanoes on Venus.
Right.
Over 1 million volcanoes on Venus.
Wow. Still counting.
So it says here the former Star of Bethlehem was on the birth of Jesus, June the 17th, 2 BC. But it was not in Virgo, it occurred in Leo, the king. And the Julian day was 1,721,290. Right? You can, yeah. So here we have Leonard taken a screen capture from his program. Second Star of Bethlehem in Virgo's womb. The previous alignment was in Leo, predicting 2017, and then Venus's path through Leo.
So I'm just getting this reference. The former Star of Bethlehem was on the birth of Jesus, June 17th, 2 BC, but was not in Virgo or occurred in Leo, the king. So when he was born the first time around, the Star of Bethlehem was in
it was
Leo.
that king.
It was in Leo, king.
Yeah.
That's the king.
Yes.
No.
This time around, what is it saying?
It's going to be in Virgo.
It's going to be in Virgo.
In Virgo.
Yes, okay.
Right.
That's the important part.
Right.
The first one predicted the king, the second one predicts Christ. Second coming.
The miracle conception.
Second.
Written in the heavens.
Yes,
Everything written in heaven.
It gets worse than that.
Even though he's been here on the planet for 73 years, we're reaching that period of time now.
Well,
it becomes so blatantly obvious.
It's like this. It's the wheels within wheels.
It's Ezekiel wheels is exactly what it is.
It's the wheels within wheels. And yeah, so
3168 is Ezekiel number. Ezekiel's name is 3168.
In the Hebrew Concordance, it's numbered 3168.
That's why you've seen that painting out there moved and the place of the Shroud of Turin and all that hanging up and all that kind of
which
stuff.
we'll come to in a moment.
It's in here, I put it on.
Yeah.
hold on. So basically that's what we're getting at. So say the wheels are moving this way, and it's about to get to a point where they all...
It's like a conversion.
The wheel, the word means realm. It's realms within realms.
Shit.
They mistranslated it on purpose.
Which
It means
explains
realms within realms.
many of your train trips in your journey, remember? Getting on a train heading somewhere and ending up elsewhere.
No, it's much like some of my dreams that I've had where they're so realistic. I'm going, this isn't a dream. This is another realm. It's actually another realm.
Exactly, that happens too.
Yeah.
I can tell you later about 3 different occasions in my lifetime where it's lasted months, where this could not happen. Simultaneously, couldn't happen.
And now, say the space in between these realms, if there were one, is that where the angels preside?
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, when I had the psilocybin experience, I knew I was not in the realm. I knew I wasn't in my realm. I was almost 1 foot in another and 1 foot in mine. And I think, like, because that's how everything was distorted. Everything, and why it was terrifying and yet exhilarating at the same time. Because you're so full of one. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Okay, let's go.
Moving on. So, we're talking about Julian Day 1721290, which is this date, Yah's mother's birth date, however, back in 1 BC. 1290, hey babe?
Yes. Keep going. We'll get there.
Alright, okay, so 1290 means Christians scattered into Gentile nations, not the Jews scattered into the nations. Christians. Alright, so then we've got October 11th, 1 BC, Julian Day, so it's not that Julian Day there, I'm reading this wrong. 1721341, 1341 is righteous judgment. So what was this Julian Day?
Don't do it now. You're going to confuse people.
Okay, alright, so I'll keep moving. Right, the Star of Bethlehem, June the 17th, 2 BC in Leo, repeated October the 11th, 1 BC in Virgo. Okay, Jupiter and Venus, the Star of Bethlehem predicts October the 11th, 1912. Daphne's rebirth in Libra, meaning judgment, Libra's the scale, by Venus and Jupiter aligned on October the 1st, 1 BC. So it was their alignment on that date in 1 BC predicting this Libra judgment. So she's the mother of God. Without her, he doesn't get here. So this is where the judgment, she has to come first. And again, Spica, 16th brightest star is Pi, which is the 16th letter of the Greek alphabet, and Pi is the witness. Now Mercury catches Mars and Jupiter, so this is what happened. Mercury catches Mars and Jupiter in a three-way conjunction with Venus aligned in retrograde, so that becomes the fourth, it becomes a four-way conjunction. Mercury is the angel of God, the messenger. Now, Mercury has an 88-day orbit. Its retrograde started on June 17th, 2 BC, birthday of Jesus.
Yes.
And then 65 days in retrograde, the Star of Bethlehem occurred, predicting the last of the 212 pyramid solar eclipses. So the 65 days from here lands on August the 21st.
That's June 17th, 2017.
Yeah, but we're just looking at this part here. So 65 days from June 17th is August 21st.
Which is June last of the 2024. So the reference is like the pyramid, when you are doing all these calculations in its entirety, when it's full, that is again the fullness of times, is it not? The pyramid is basically the standalone in time.
Yes. Well, it's the countdown.
There's an Earth measure in it. It has everything you want to know. It even has the size of the galaxy.
So it's almost as if the pyramid itself is the sole mechanical cog of time.
It was all based on the pyramid.
Yeah.
Time is in the pyramid. You see, you take the pyramid, the 50th layer of masonry, you turn it into light years, 50 light years, and then that is the width of the Milky Way galaxy when you're in the base of it.
Yeah, Milky Way galaxy is 100,000 light years, so the 50th layer, and you place it on, then you've got like
so that 50 times 2 times pi is 100,000.
Yeah.
Without the pyramid, none of this would be able to be
worked out.
Conceived.
No.
Well, I could, based just on my birthday, I could forget the pyramid altogether if I wanted to. I could just do it.
No, well,
there's another way to skin on the same rat, right?
I'm thinking of it in larger terms. Like, say if the pyramid never existed, we would basically not really have the concept of time.
Oh, no, that's concept of time.
Well, it would be known as rebirth now.
But just the pyramid was built by Methuselah, who was got the instructions from his father, Enoch. And the base of the pyramid, what the Jews have tried to do is make it the Enoch circle, and they've got another Enoch in the Old Testament.
Yes.
with another son that has the same name, very similar to Methuselah. Then he's got another one in his genetics of Lamech, which is the father of Noah. But it's a different line. It's a line of Cain. So Cain built the first city and called it Enoch after his son. Hello, how stupid is that?
So
That's
you've
what
got
the Jews do.
the righteous line of Seth. Seth was the replacement to
And there's
Eve.
seven times the word city is found, and Seth lived 777 years.
No, that was Lamech. Seth lived
Lamech,
912 years.
And I was 9 pounds 12 on the bottom.
No. No. It's all to do with Seth, the righteous line, versus the unrighteous line, which is the seed of Cain,
Yes.
the Jew.
Yes.
And see, Cain was of Adam. Seth was not of Adam. Seth was the replacement by God, so it was an immaculate conception within Eve to bring
yes.
forth eventually
Oh,
Jesus round one, and then the Christ line.
Wow.
Because as you know, it was Adam that fell. It was all his fault, not Eve's fault.
Well, yeah, it was the free will of man.
Yeah.
The will of man, which is inherently evil.
The moron.
Well, man is evil.
Yeah, well,
God is righteous.
more than that, isn't
All shit
the
comes
moron
from Adam,
first.
Yeah.
not from females.
Yeah.
Right? And it's called the mitochondria. All women are the same. Goes back.
Mitochondria from Eve is
Men
unpolluted.
don't have it.
You and I have discussed this, yeah, so oh my god. Wow! I was right about something. Okay.
Alright, so moving right along, we've got Revelation 12:10 and September the 23rd, 2017. The Virgin is about to birth Jupiter. And approaching is Venus in the heart of Leo. And it will pass through the larynx. So we've got the much faster movement of Venus. Jupiter moving slowly compared to Venus.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
just think
yes.
Yara and myself, how fast we move. Right?
Very much so. Okay.
That's why he got exhausted just watching me pedal the other day. He's driving in the car and he got exhausted watching me. So I didn't stop, did I, babe? So anyway. So we're talking about September the 23rd. The Virgin is about to birth Jupiter, great big king. But approaching from behind is Venus, who's in the heart of Leo, will pass through the larynx, the voice, the throat
Yep.
of Virgo on Daphne's birthday, October the 11th in 2017. So it is written she had escaped the dragon and ascended to heaven. Now all of the religious scour the scriptures, what does it mean? Yet ironically, there she is prepared. Now we said for announcement
Yes.
on, the voice, proclamation, announcement, on October the 11th in the night sky at the knee. That's where Jupiter's position is. And Venus catches up. So then there's speaking or heard or recognised by this time, November the 13th. So that's the date that Venus catches up with Jupiter the king, and they are like side by side. So it's November the 13th. So we've got 11:13 here, written this way in 2017. Now this is Daniel's prophecy fulfilled. 1113 is Daniel's Babylonian name, it was Belshazzar. So that's the number in the Greek concordance. Right? So Jupiter, I've done it here, September the 23rd, 2013, remains in place. Then 33 days later, Venus, who's
Yes.
up here, has caught up and is aligning on November the 13th, 2017. And Yah says a new religion is born.
Jesus.
Moving along. Now, it just so happens that Yah's Canadian BC
Social Security number is
so when adding up 709 plus 18 plus 386, it totals 1113.
Whatever, like a tea, a coffee, a lobotomy.
Right.
We're right, do that after. We're almost, let's get through
Almost
this.
finished.
Because we want
That's
to
nice.
get this converted for people to...
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so,
All right,
we're talking about now a date. The 113 identifies this date.
Yes.
11/13/2017.
So
So what we've got is, the baby is born, and on the knee of Virgo, the baby begins to speak, which is what Yah did, being the Christ, since he's been on the earth for 73 years and speaking like an adult since a small child of 2 or younger. So now it becomes time for the world to listen and acknowledge his presence. So Daphne's birthday, October 11th, 2013, add 33 days is, now 33 years of course the life of Jesus, is November the 13th, 2017. And
you know what? I really think that it's a massive possibility that when Trump will announce it.
Well, he is 2.424 years younger than me, which is Jesus in Greek. That's why I said to him.
He's your guy.
I said to him, how many years ago did we send him a text?
June the 13th, 2012.
Wow, it's
That
almost
was the eve of his birthday.
It's almost like just remember what you guys were saying about Jesus and Pontius Pilate being friends.
Yes.
Right. Wouldn't it be so fitting if he was a reincarnated Pontius Pilate? Do you think to announce the Christ?
Well, we've announced him to the world as the real Hitler with what he's been doing and all the rest.
Well, see, his wife, who was married to a Rothschild before him, said that when she got pissed off with him, that he would have a library in his bedroom and he'd read Hitler speeches. Before he went to sleep at night.
That was his first wife, Yvonne.
That's his first wife. She testified against him.
She held that against him.
Said that he read Hitler's speeches before he went to sleep every night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, you may look like Hitler. You can have the role.
Your name is Führer.
I told you, we put it out there. It's total.
Oh, look, hey, I told you Andrew, he reached out to me and asked me to organize the New South Wales Boys.
Andrew Wilson?
Yeah.
That's the lawyer guy?
Yeah, that's the lawyer guy.
Okay.
That's thousands of people.
Yes. Well, we've been through this before. All those boys need to know who.
Well, put it this way.
Who the keck is.
Put it this way. If Trump were to do that, right?
Got it.
He's got like Trump. When Trump does that, right?
Yeah.
All of us boys that have been sitting there. Geez, we'd really like to come out in the open, but we're all going to be name shamed, even killed. There was one boy that was followed by 4 Indian blokes.
Yes.
For 3 hours. They were going to try and throw him in a van.
Oh, really?
Just for being a skinhead and white nationalist and proud, right?
Yeah.
But if Trump announces it, all right, doesn't matter if the Muslims and the rest of the atheists don't believe it. That will immediately call to arms every single one of Trump's supporters.
Now,
absolutely.
I've been having this conversation with the guy. He's coming to find us. His name is Michael. He's a lovely young man. He's an alt-writer, and he's responsible for all the memes. That's his thing.
Yes, meme warrior.
Animation, cartoons, and it may well be that he is actually Walt Disney. That's his thing. It's a possibility.
Walt Disney he lived 605.7 years.
Yeah.
7.5 years.
I was looking into Walt Disney, and they tried to put a lot of bullshit against him.
Yes, they did.
He was a fascist at heart.
Yes.
He ruled, and also when you were working for Walt Disney, you had to be straight edge.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to be Jewish.
Yeah.
He didn't hire Jews.
No. Well, now another lady who found us recently, she's working for Disney World in Orlando right now.
Called out by Jews.
They are causing her life to be hell. Paying her $10 an hour. Now this is a really qualified. She in her mind, she's got the script for Yah's movie. She knows all the people. Mm-hmm. She can design the costumes. She's a costume designer, and she has said that everything that she's done in her life, business-wise for other people, has blossomed. But her own life has been made hell, being paid shit wages.
She's been Jew.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Which is what the whole world has been, Jews.
Yes.
So they're coming in, and I've had this conversation with Michael, who happened to be born up in the Philippines. Hello. And anyway, just he's a kingpin, if you like, in the movement that now must do what they did for Trump for Yah, because Yah is the true king. the alpha.
Top kick.
Top kick.
Oh man. Oh god. Oh, I can just think of the memes now. It'll be like his face imposed on Terminator's body, going, go ahead, make my day.
Yeah, well, we've already got Reese, Jonas' son, who's made the game, the video game. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so now it's what they've done with Trump, because Trump has nowhere to go. He's risen to the top of the heap, being the world.
Exactly. He shattered the glass ceiling. Where do you go from here?
Exactly, but to announce God.
That's it. Like,
he had the honour because he's got the guts.
We've already told him 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2012. So.
oh god, it's gonna be what a hell of a year.
And our little Simon over there watching has had 4 dreams.
Now, measuring to the planets, on January the 1st, the distance is 3875. 38.75. That's comforter.
Mm-hmm.
The last day of last year was God. 3877.
That's when we were baptised. Yeah, I was beginning
God
to think.
moving into the comforter.
Yeah, I was really beginning to think it was a waste of
this year.
I was thinking the same thing when I went back. I was like, oh god. I'm like, if anything, I never felt more lost. I just felt like I completely lost myself. Like the path wasn't there any longer. I was like, I'm speaking to my angels and they're not listening. And yeah, holy smokes, you have no idea what that feels like, the isolation.
Yeah.
Right?
A bit freaky, isn't it?
Well, like, I couldn't comprehend myself ever being at this point now. Or even this point of understanding.
Yeah.
Right? Like...
Now, no, we haven't finished this slide. Let me finish this.
Oh, this is going to be a great upload, though. This is going to be a great video, right?
Well, we want to get it there sometime this year. So, all right, it's all about speaking, right? Time for the world to listen. So, anyway, Yah's age on this date, right, the 11/13, he'll be 73.84 years old. In Hebrew means spoken. Glory, glory.
So the universe was created
Hallelujah.
by the Word. Right? God spoke and it was so.
Yes.
That's where Muhammad's got it right.
Yeah.
He says that.
Yeah. But before the word, there was thought.
Yes.
And my last painting, right before I found him, I called it, in the beginning was thought.
Yep.
And it was gilt-edged, gilt being edged in gold. Right? And then I found him.
Wow.
And I went, ta-da! The trumpet out of Zion and got excommunicated from everybody. All good.
Next slide.
Slide. Alright, so the Star of Bethlehem, we're going back in time.
Yep.
The Star of Bethlehem occurred when Venus aligned with Jupiter in Leo on June the 17th, 2 BC, meaning a king was born, and that was Jesus. Mary had conceived of the Holy Ghost on September the 11th, 3 BC. Creation is marked out in space. This is why the astrologers knew when the baby Jesus would be born. So before that, on August the the year after rather, on August the 21st, 1 BC, Julian Day, this is where this Julian Day comes in, Venus lined up with Jupiter in the womb of Virgo. And so there we had the prophecy of August the 21st, 2017. So we've got 2017 years later. In Hebrew, 2017 is turning of things upside down, and in Greek it means Christ will pour upon you the divine truth. As the sun gives light to men, arouse from sleep and recognize Christ is already here. Now, in those years before we left BC and that time that for Diane in the life,
yes.
I knew that once we found him, it would be announcing that Christ is already here. Not he's about to come, or he's already here. He's already here. The trumpet blowing in Zion.
Well, you installed in me in such a very young age that God was not up in space and he wasn't coming back, but he was already here. you had known that. She always knew that there was something on the earth.
Yeah, and I had no clue who I was. I didn't know I was Martha. I just knew that he's here. I'm going to find him.
I told you. I told you.
Yeah, you did. You said it's not. It's
said,
you're the mother. Yeah, so that was in Balmain.
Yeah. I said, you're the queen of all mankind. You're the mother of all living. She didn't want to listen to me though. She was too humble.
No.
Too humble.
Too humble. No, it's not me. It's all about her. Not me.
I'm looking at Diane going, you kidding me? You kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
This woman that has done nothing, and you that would go to the ends of the earth, sacrifice everything for God. And it's not you at the beginning.
Well, and that's what I did 5 times backwards and forwards. Remember those trips?
And that's why I bought you a new bike.
Brand new bike, not a second-hand one. Salvo's a new one.
Alright.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. We've been playing watermelon wine all week since we've got the bike.
Tom to your
The watermelon colour. Lovely. Alright, so now we're going to get to... So, now, back in time again. This time we're October the 11th, 2 BC. So this is the year of Jesus' birth. He's about to be 5 months old. Venus completed a retrograde, circling back to overtake Jupiter as it moved into the neck of Virgo. So the Julian day is 1020976. 976 in the Hebrew Concordance is tried, tested, and in Greek it happens to mean word. Hello. Right. So the voice of Virgo speaks the word of God, tried and tested to be true in space. October the 11th, Daphne was born in 1912, and we entered the pyramid on the same date in 2013. This is why, in spite of the heart attack he was experiencing, a total of 11, we had to go in on that date.
Yeah.
Had she lived, she would have been 100.
So they can't kill me, but it hurts.
Yes, it hurts.
It's like an elephant sitting on you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Right down.
Yeah.
So I did about 30 paces up into the pyramid and collapsed.
20. You were counting. 20 paces.
20.
Yes. It's all up there on the video.
All over.
I filmed it all.
Oh shit.
And I'm saying,
Another heart attack,
I'm
right?
saying, look, honey, it's just like the road to Calvary carrying the cross. You all right? You know, I just stay there and filming, and then
And the guards come up. You're all right. You're all right.
Yeah,
You're
guard
all
comes
right.
up.
Right? No, don't worry, right? I'll go another 20 steps. And then some more guards are coming. You're all right.
up the ascending passage and through the Grand Gallery. I mean, it's a major climb.
Yeah, it's no...
And then coming down,
Yeah,
you've got to be bent over.
Oh.
It's worse because
Been so big, right? Over.
Like-
It tore my clothes to shreds.
shred. There's one up there called Holy Pants where we had to put a scarf around his waist because
The answer's
the
in
arse was hanging out of his pants, ripped to shreds. And the shoulder, we've still got the remains of the shirt, it's ripped to shreds. The shoulder on
I was
the
leaning
shirt.
forward, it's such a small area, like for a big man like that, leaning forward and the thing's coming like this. I'm really bent over. It's difficult to be. And I'm just having all these heart attacks. I'm just not happy.
Yeah. You know, my height was okay.
Wow!
It's funny that you were in Poland, whatever you were doing, or Amsterdam, or... Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
So we've got this date, October 11th, in the larynx of Virgo gives a prediction of the Word of God, born of Virgo and Venus. So everything is a foretelling of what's happening in space ahead of us in a few short months. Now, to change course, this was last week. We'd already picked up the Queen car and we're driving into town. Oh, it was actually on the way home. Yeah, said something odd has occurred. Revelation 12:10, reading that, it says, "And behold, a loud voice saying in heaven, now," which is number 737 in the Greek Concordance, "is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night." Now the accuser, of course, is the devil. Just think of Adzi, the accuser.
Yeah.
That's all Judas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he, in your life, cast
Day
down.
and night.
Yeah.
Day and night.
Which accused them before our God, us, day and night.
Mm-hmm.
Was that not so in your life?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Yah's age on September the 23rd, 2017 will be 73.7 years. And it's now. Everything we've been getting that is now. That's how we got the car. I mean, we saw that as a sign of breakthrough because prior to that, you know, we're driving around with Yah's king car, leaking oil everywhere. We've been doing that for a couple of years. We even paid almost $1,000 to have it fixed in the beginning and it's still leaked. But the oil level didn't drop.
Right.
Totally amazing.
It drained out a couple of gallons of oil and the oil level didn't go down in the motor. Because you experienced the odometer reading going backwards trip to on another car.
Yeah. So this is the odometer reading of the Queen car on our way home from probably our first trip into Harvey Bay once we got it last week. 73791 and I pulled over off before it tipped over and I took a video of it. Now, this is where it gets to be interesting. We are often, Adam can testify to this, as a matter of fact, the night you moved out 3 years ago now, Joel and I were sitting downstairs and we heard feet shuffling around in what was your bedroom because Yah was driving you to the Jew. Yes. One of your evictions. Anyway, so we are often awakened at night as angels walk about the house. During the day we hear angels walking upstairs. That's what happened when you left. So this is a photo, everybody will be used to seeing this backdrop. This is a photo of the backdrop we use in videos. In the following slide, Ash's paintings have been rearranged. My photo taken in Egypt by the Red Sea, we're in Hurghada when we took that shrouded video, was taken down and placed on the box, but had to be held in place as it would have slipped off. So the navy blue and white Ezekiel's wheels, I call that painting wheels within wheels, was standing on Ash's painting, that's the one called In the Beginning Was Thought, to the right of Yara and myself when we were sitting, but was placed on top of the fallen photograph and leaning on the remaining shroud that was still pinned in place. So the photographs to show how it ended up. This is what happened. You can see just how impossible for that to fall. So Ezekiel's wheels were in wheels, have pinned in place Yah's shroudi photo from Hurghada by the Red Sea. It's fallen off in the beginning, or taken off in the beginning and placed. And then the house of cards that was resting up here has been placed on the floor in front of Yah's own painting, The Man in the Golden Helmet. Wow. And when I painted the house of cards, that was my second painting, my thought was the gold is heaven, the black is hell, and the difference between them, what's holding heaven on earth, if you like, is the counterfeit, which are the Jews, or credit cards, whatever you like, the system. One flick and they're all gone. And it's like movement. It's like movement in time. Anyway, so this is what...
I must say, though, that painting is incredible.
It is, isn't it?
It's got a geometric look to it. That is incredible. Have you noticed that or no?
Oh yeah. When I did it was very precise.
This looks like almost DNA, like the double helix.
Oh, it does too. Yes. It does. Yeah, right in the middle.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, well.
But still, that's borderline creepy. That is.
Well, let's.
Do you remember when I was here last time and I had that almost like sleep paralysis moment? Do you remember when I called you in the middle of the night?
Is that was it last time or no?
I think it was last time I was here.
What, Dali again?
Was Dali calling, was she?
Yeah, I'll set you for it.
What, me or Adam?
I don't know.
I'll come.
Right, keep going.
Okay. So, so here's a close-up of how everything was rearranged. Yah says, lifting the Ezekiel wheel painting, my photograph falls to the floor. And then this here on the left is the photograph has been taken off the green screen and the pin that held it in place on the floor. So that's the way everything was rearranged.
Mm-hmm.
Painting had to be placed on the plastic laminated picture to prevent it from sliding off the box containing the pool table balls.
It looks like Yah's on the ball.
Call me Monsieur Balls.
as we play pool, you know, kind of like the planetary lineups.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're moving right along. The next one after 12, 10, we're reading 12, Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Now, Adam, you have to know this. It was August the 14th, 1999. And you know the big park that was near us over on the way to, not the school way, but over the other way.
McLean Park.
McLean Park, yeah.
Yes.
I used to walk around there, that pathway, and I would pray.
Yes.
Right. And that's the day that I was told that women were going to spearhead the restoration of all things.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that meant right back to the garden. And I stopped and said, why, Lord, why women? And he said, because Eve has taken the fall for the fall way too long. Mm-hmm. So that was at the top of the path, and I go, oh, wow, okay. And then I walked down to get to the bottom of the path, and then I stopped, and I was thinking about this verse. And by the word of their, and they loved not their lives unto the death. And that's the day, because it's talking about the 144,000, and that's the day that I said, if you're here, I'm going to find you. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't care what it costs me. And I said, I'll lay down all my 4 children, I laid them down.
Yep.
And I said, unto death will I find you. I didn't, if it was going to kill me, that's okay. And it was that moment.
It's funny because you had that experience on a path that's called the Devil's Backbone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, that path?
At McLean. Yeah.
At McLean?
Yeah.
Why was that?
It was deemed the Devil's Backbone.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's what every local kid calls it, the Devil's Backbone.
Okay, I had no idea. But anyway, so, and the instant that I spoke those words unto death, I could feel the fire in my belly that was consuming. It rose up. Mm-hmm. And I'm holding on, and I'm bending over, and I'm realising, you know, something angelic is happening. I'm laughing, I'm going, okay, I get it, right, turn down the heat. And then it was from that day forward that I began to really focus on what I was hearing, making sure that what I was hearing, it came from the inside, what I was hearing was right, it wasn't me, it had to be you, not me. And that's when literally all the words started to come through me. I would write it and that kind of thing. So that was all part of the journey. It was unto death. And they were the words that Yahweh was waiting for me to speak, which I did speak on our long conversation on April Fool's Day, 2008, when I phoned him and we had a conversation that lasted 178 minutes, 171 minutes and 38 seconds. So we've got the length of the Shrouded Turin in 171, so it means espoused. So anyway, and I told him about that experience, and he said they were the words I was waiting for unto death. Yes. It must have been a part of that walk on the beach, round 1, as you were telling me about the future, and that there would be a code that would be spoken when I found you, unto death.
And I described in the first phone call what you looked like.
That's right.
The colour of your eyes, how tall you was.
Short in stature. That's right. Red hair, fair complexion, blue eyes. Do you have a photograph? Oh, well, I've only got one. $700, I'll send it to you. But I didn't pay it because it was on that credit card that I popped down the drawer there. Anyway, so now I set the astronomy program to the last minute of September the 23rd, 2017. This was set for London, the heart of all evil, modern Babylon. It has to be a precise moment in time. Julian day 2458020.4990. The reason is precision. Nothing is left to chance. The precise moment I selected proved to be correct. And then you may recall, just to switch topics again, you may recall Cook discovered at Tahiti a pyramid on Tahiti. It's 11 tier high, and the footprint is 267 by 87 feet. So that gives an area of 23,229 square feet, and I was reborn 23,229 days after my grandfather Golightly. That pyramid on Tahiti, measuring to the South Pole, is 4990, and that means Soter or Saviour. And the King car with the 935 license plate cost us $4,990, and it was bought from a guy who just happened to live on Hope Island on the Gold Coast. And
wow.
Here is said island, Tahiti.
You notice there that the height of
pyramid,
the highest mountain is 7,353 feet.
which is the area of Australia to ring. Mount Arahena.
You try and find it on the internet now, they've changed it.
Oh, anything Yah mentions gets taken off.
Google Earth, it's not on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
2,000 feet out.
Wow.
So this is how I read creation. Now we read Revelation 12:12, quoting, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time." Now, the verse 12:12 times 2 is 2424, and that is Jesus in the Greek concordance. It's number listed at 2424. Therefore, what caused the dragon to be cast to the earth? It was the resurrection and the immortality of Jesus. So now we've got the resurrection date of April 5th, 33 AD. Then we have the sign in space. Jupiter is the heavenly representative of Jesus. Jupiter, its radii is 44,430 or 88,860 across its full diameter, according to astronomers. So that's what they say, width is in miles. And of course you've got the God number 4443 times the word God is found in the 3877 verses of the KJV 1611. So even Satan's own Bible has ensnared the dragon's representatives, being the Jews. The clue is in the details. Jupiter's average distance to the Earth or the Sun? Earth, okay. It's 484 million miles. 4 of course is the completed height of the pyramid in feet.
I'm sorry, it is the sun, yes.
It is, so that should read the sun. Okay. Setting time at 23:58:34 seconds UTC. It's Julian day 2458020.4990. Reveals salvation by Jesus, and then measuring at that instant in time from the sun to Tugam distance, move time the slightest amount, it then becomes out by miles. So it's got to be exactly on that moment. And here it is. We've got in kilometres 3,901 kilometres, or 2424.5 miles, or in nautical miles 2105.2. So 3901 in the Greek concordance is, let's slide away, let the salvation these things heard show us how to obtain, slip away from us, a thing that escapes one's mind. So that's a whoa. Like, you know, that's less like the virgin not ready. If you don't wake up, if you let these things slip away, if your mind is not focused on these things, which is the Word of God, then, you know, you've missed the boat, literally. In Hebrew, though, it means war. Yah's been waging his war against
them. Well, it's not only just Yah's war, it's a war for the mind.
Well, that's devil's playground is the mind.
Yeah.
So. Now, 2105, the nautical miles measure, in Hebrew means releasing. In Greek, it is a serene sky, fair weather, wonderful thing to marvel at. From 2203, which brings us back to Jupiter. Hello.
What's the number for Jupiter?
2203 is the number for Jupiter.
2203?
Yes.
03 equals Jupiter.
Yeah. So on that, at that moment in time, measuring Jupiter to the Earth, it is 6.33 astronomical units, which is Isaiah 63, verse 3, which is, "Wherefore art thou?"
That's how old my grandfather was.
Yes, you're the age of your grandfather, going back to that footprint, Golightly. And "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?" Right. All right. And of course the 2424 being Jesus, which is all measuring to here, to them.
Yeah.
2424 miles.
Here it is, the moon location set for September 23rd, so September 23rd at that moment in time, the moon location. And here are the coordinates. This is the Earth from the moon at that moment in time, its coordinates. And the sun at that moment on time, so just bear in mind those numbers. Because, another prophecy, the churches plead with the Lord, pointing out what they have done in his name. Jesus raised the dead, performed many miracles, done so many wonderful works in your name. But the Lord says, he doesn't know me. Depart from me, I don't know you. Reading Matthew 27, verses 22 and 23, and it even names the dragon being the devil, which are the Jews. Jesus quoting, "You are of your father, the devil." John 8:44. Now, just going through all of these numbers here in this measure, we've got the length here. This is the moon to the sun length across here. In kilometres, 7405. However, in ordinary miles, it's 7,700.7 miles.
That
Right.
word is devil.
Now, down here, 7405 is bond, and devil. Has not the whole world been in bondage to the devil in this time? You've got your 2424 to them being Jesus. Now, you're saying Jupiter's time is over. The bridegroom expects a chaste virgin, but will be greeted by the daughters of the dragon and the harlots being the Jews. So it calls for destruction. The churches will cry like the virgins who went to find oil for their lamps. They come, but the door was shut. Open to us. And he will reply, I know you not. So that's where the Matthew prophecy of the virgins is, 25 verses 10, 11 and 12. Now we've got here 454, which is the area over here inside the three legs in square kilometres, 45,430,997 square kilometres. 454 again is the pyramid to the height of the summit platform as it is now.
Okay.
And in square, that same square nautical miles, this time 1323, 1, 2, 6, 7. 1323 is Hebrew concordance, a female child, meaning the new church.
454 is that feet or
Feet.
Feet.
4, 5.
Up to the present sum, there's some inches.
To the missing capstone.
454.5. That's the age my mother was in weeks when she conceived.
On April 6, 1943.
So 454 is basically 454 feet to the missing capstone.
That's right.
Yeah.
0.58 inches to be
0.58 inches.
Okay. Right, now, Yah has said all along, creation occurred with everything as is, but appearing to have life, like an ancient life. It just appears that way. So I've always called it the devil's amusement, not the devil, the angels with their amusement park, they built everything, and then man was placed on the earth in the creation. And
Like buying a new future.
Yeah.
Someone built it and you go and get it and drive it off.
That's right.
Is that, because you know how we've had, was it 3 destructions? Where you destroyed the earth 3 times? Didn't you have to restart it? No. No?
No.
Like the
this
Hopi?
is all speculation. You had the flood.
Yeah, you had the flood.
No, I mean, you know how impatient Yah is. Can you imagine him waiting around for... Yeah. It's all about man getting it right.
Yeah.
So it's like an ancient Cambrian explosion, where all animals suddenly appeared. The stars were in place with the light waves already arrived on Earth from distant galaxies. So the date of creation, 4713 BC, January the 1st, or it is written Julian day as minus 4712. The Julian day is 0, January the 1st at 12 noon, so this is when these measurements are made. We see the number inside this square, so you've got the moon and the sun location, back to the St. Margaret's maternity hospital, which is only 2 miles away from the rebirth home anyway. But inside here, the area, 10,579,062 square kilometres. So what have we got? We've got 1057, which is Galilean, which equals Jesus. However, over in the next slide, and we're coming to a close. Okay, so first of all, we've got to, before we get to the 1057 on the next slide, creation day, sun location, 2178. This is 21.78 degrees south, so that's its latitude. 2178 in Greek is all at once. Now, Yah measured that after. He'd already written all of this. It wasn't until he all at once.
I don't have to do it in order, I just know what he's saying.
And Hebrew is diverse kinds. Hello, all the animals, all plants.
Yeah, all at once.
So, now, Yah says the astronomy...
That's a very good reason.
The astronomy...
So that answers the age-old question, doesn't it?
About the chicken and the egg?
It was the chicken.
Of course,
Chicken
mature.
kangaroo.
Fully grown.
Yeah.
Mature creation. Then, built with the egg to continue.
And the old rooster's going, hello.
So, now Yah says the astronomy program shows the moon, but
And
in fact the moon
the
did not
hens say
exist.
any cockle-doo.
Oh. Did you? Okay. So,
How many animals can you fit in a pair of
oh
trousers?
yeah, right. Okay. Look, we've got,
cheeky man. God is a cheeky man.
So the astronomy program shows the moon, but in fact at that time, at the point of creation, it did not exist until the time of the flood, because the time of the flood was caused by Mars bumping into the Earth and pushing out from Antarctica the moon, right? So,
what was the motivation behind animal life? Was it to be a representation of God's government?
Should be at a time.
yeah, that had something to
Everything's
do.
created. You just can't go. There's 25 million different species.
Yeah.
Hello. The pyramid is 25, blah, 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 years wide.
Yeah.
Right? The king's coffer holds 2500 gallons of water. Right? 2500 is Joseph, the stepfather of Jesus. Joseph of Arimathea.
And a generation is regarded as 25 years.
That's right.
Right, let's move because we can wind down soon. Now, remember the 1057, that area, the green area, the number 1057.
Yes.
In 1990, I skimmed the 1611 King James, running my finger along every line to count the Lord found in 6666 verses, but it was found in those verses 7,830 times. And then God is found 4,443 times in 3,877 verses. So the word certain, 194, and then the New Testament Lord is found 711 times in the Son number, 657 verses, the conversion rate of the Son. And God, 3877 verses, again, well that's a repeat of what we already said. But finally, the last verse that contained the word certain, the column notes pointed to the book of John, written in red. This is what Yah read, this particular, early in the morning it was. My son, his mother and I are well pleased with you, and a place has been reserved for you in paradise from the beginning. And so the gematria of all those words in red are 1057. So it's paradise from the beginning. Right. Then those words vanish, because they're not actually in the Bible. They vanish. Right? So, yeah, it says creation is a thought. In the beginning was thought, right? Of Almighty God that spoke the word, and it was so. Man was allowed free will, made in God's image, to be perfected by the trials on earth. Those who fell to evil have taken over the earth. See, the evil have been here, they've had 7 chances to get it right too, but each lifetime has compounded more and more evil.
Yes.
That's why it's so
prevalent today.
Yes. This evil spirit is not a race, it is a parasitic occupier of souls. The Jews today are not genetically of Judah or Palestine. The evil parasite found a dwelling in Khazarian Mongols. Their nature willingly accepted Moses. It's insanity. And yet even though Jesus said that no man had seen or heard God, the Christian world teams up with demons and still rejects Jesus because they'd rather go along with the Torah laws of the devil. Now this is the last slide in this part. We just thought we'd leave you all with a little something to think about.
Cool if I read this.
Adam, you read it.
Consider this. There are 1 trillion cells in the human body. When a repair to scratch or cut is required, a signal is sent and the machine uncoils the DNA, allowing amino acids to attach in a sequence arranged along the exposed double helix. Then another machine detaches the string, perhaps 400 amino acids long, ready to be folded into a protein. Meanwhile, the DNA double helix rejoins. By then, a machine has transported the amino acid string towards a tube-like factory. A door opens, then the string is moved into position, and the door closes. Work begins folding the amino acids into the required shape. Completed, the door is open. It has been tagged with an address. A courier truck moves in, reads the address, and transports the protein to where the body requires it. Once delivered, the courier places it into position, removes the address, and the repair is complete. Lying, semi-conscious, you were totally unaware. You had been going about your daily habits, feeding your face, drinking beer, eating chips, farting and screaming at the kids, shut the F up, I can't hear the bloody television. No, not the History Channel showing a program on intelligent design. The last thing you remember? The Simpsons, reaching for a can of beer. Half pissed, you fallen off the couch, bumping your forehead. Your soul wakened from slumber. Alert! Alert! The moron has fallen, hit its head, send a dispatch to review the damage and wait for instructions.
Is that not so?
Oh, wow.
Do you recognize your Adam in that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so now we go to the final slide. Go to part 20.
Z. Kyle. Have you guys seen
15.
Kyle lately? I've been looking for Kyle everywhere. Have you seen Kyle? I don't know. Have you seen Kyle?
I think I have.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I think I've seen Kyle all over the place. I think we should go and, no. Let us know if you've seen Kyle.
It's raining. It's turned to hail.
But
Connor made up a bunch of stickers that say the Goyim no.
Yes.
And seen Kyle, question mark.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They're hilarious.
Have any last minute comments? No, I've got you on both there. There you go.
I think I'll reserve my comments until the end of the Armageddon series.
But they never end.
Well,
It's been ongoing.
I'm just getting bored with it.
Think of all the fun you'll have while I'm down visiting grandchildren, you and Yah together.
My goodness.
Uninterrupted.
My goodness. My God.
Hello.
Alright, I'm turning this off.
Incredible.
Now Yah wanted to thank our new followers. You've sent letters of thanks. Most say they have been down every rabbit hole, then a few, but days ago found us. Many say they recognize my face and have not ceased watching the videos. Some have difficulty with the numbers, and they're asking what will the Bible of the future be in the kingdom. Now Yah has always said that he will keep the 1611 King James Version and dump the other versions. The other versions. Dumping up, well, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? And dump the other versions, as the KJV 1611 is the devil's Bible. Satan put it together. However, it's filled with the codes and the numbers that Yah has used to ensnare. I mean, the Bible itself is a trap for all Christendom, but Yah uses it as literally the gallows to hang the devil on. So there are some verses in it that would have altered, but was not smart enough to see the danger to it. Okay, so yeah, if he's talking about the devil, there are some verses in it that the devil would have altered, but was not smart enough to see the danger to it. For example, the comforter verses from Ecclesiastes 4:1, Lamentations 1:9 and 1:16 in the Old Testament, and then the 4 verses from John 14:16, 14:26, 15:26, and John 16:7. When you add them all up, it is 67.54, and of course this is the area of the Shroud of Turin. The image is on the larger piece, which just happens to be 6,754.5 square inches. And then a strip stitched meticulously down the side, and this extending the area from 6,754.5 square inches to the 7,353 square inches in its fullness. So the Bible has to stay, but with notes, showing the devil's attempt to forbid Christ. It was unaware my Bible is the measure of the earth. Now, Yah says he hopes that clears any questions regarding what I will have to write in the columns. It's the Bible of the future, the Kingdom Bible. But yes, the Bible, the book, is the earth, and only Yah can read it. And of course, his altar to the Lord is the Great Pyramid in Egypt. So the earth is the temple, and the altar in the temple is the pyramid, the Great Pyramid. Is the Virgin once more with Jupiter about to be birthed. Jupiter is born, the king planet. The moon is passing through Libra, the scales of justice. Below her feet is Ophiuchus, crushing the serpent, which is the Torah and Judeo-Christianity, the root of all evil, tearing it in half. His left foot crushes Scorpio, which stings his heel. Now, a lunar eclipse occurs on August the 7th, 2017. Calculating the time for London, the partial phase begins at 1723, maximum eclipse at 1820, and partial phase ends at 1918 for 115 minutes, which is the gematria for Golightly, the royal name. Comet 67P, its path forms a Fibonacci spiral of life. Dragon, to the Jews, about to devour the Virgin's baby, Jupiter at 88,888 miles wide, Jupiter the King, predicted by the birth of Jesus on June the 17th, 2 BC. So this is all about judgment, and the King is born. Again, just that we know that this is from the previous part, but I really want you to understand what it is that he's revealing. So we're coming up to lunation 1172, beginning at 5:30 UTC on the 20th of September. And then lunation 1173 on the 19th of October at 1912. That was the year of Daphne Golightly's birth. The lunation 1172 and 1173 is mistress in the Hebrew concordance. The 1172 is female owner, also mistress. In the Greek concordance, 1172 is supper, and 1173 is also supper, but as the formal meal had at evening. Used of the Messiah's feast, symbolizing salvation in the kingdom. The distance to the moon is 62.8 Earth radii, and is Isaiah 62 verse 8, quoting, "The Lord hath sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of the stranger shall not drink thy wine, for which thou hast laboured." The age of the moon at 3 days, 16 hours and 13 minutes, 3:16, is John 3:16, quoting, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." Now, Yah has the positions of the planets from the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Their distances there, which total at the column in the middle there, 125.84 total astronomical units. Divided by the 9 planets, the average is 115.42. And in the Greek concordance, 1154 is Damascus. Again, Golightly is 115. Jupiter at 6.33 is Isaiah 63, verse 3, quoting, "Who is this that cometh from Bozrah?" And Yah has in brackets, Satana, India. "That is glorious in his apparel, travelling in the greatness of his strength." Of course, the answer is, "I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." So here we have the lineup of the planets at 23:59. Notice there's a few seconds difference, and just a slight change in the distances, totaling now 124.79 astronomical units. And the Earth distance at 6.33 is Isaiah 63. Mercury at 5.41 is the brightness of Christ, reflects the majesty of God. Venus, 5.55 astronomical units. That's how many times the word Christ is found within 522 verses of the KJV 1611. Then Mars at 4.85 astronomical units is the pyramid height in its fullness in feet. That's with the capstone in place. Just reading Hebrew 1247, meaning var, as in the sun, S-O-N, and the Greek concordance 1247 is to sustain life. So it's telling us that it is the sun that sustains our lives on the earth, for all those who awaken to him. So today we have astronomy software that can easily display precisely the sun and moon positions thousands of years ago. So in the God number 4443 BC, an astronomy software is written as minus 4442. The Gregorian calendar forgot about the 365 days between 1 BC and 1 AD. So now we look at September 23rd, 7,000 years ago, and of course time cannot measure back, does not measure back that far, but we've covered that in the last video, so we're just going with the flow at the moment. 7,000 years ago, and we have minus 4443, or roll forward a year to minus 4442, is 4443 BC. Both has my number on them. The moon to the sun measure at December 23rd in the year 4443 BC, UTC 2359. In the last minute, the moon and the sun are 3,875 nautical miles apart. 3875 in the Greek concordance is the number for the Comforter. For those of you who might be listening for the first time, that Christ was reborn with parents living at the house 105 Rothschild Avenue, Sydney, Australia, identifying the ruler over hell, because indeed the earth has become hell underneath the Rothschild dynasty. And the house measures to the South Pole 3,875 miles. So it's in the measure of his creation that explains or reveals all things. So he is the Comforter each time, who is the Father. And so only he has been able to tell to the world that the rebirth day and hour of January the 11th, 1944 at 2:22 a.m. into Sydney, Australia, which is Ephraim. So the area within this triangulation, 7,118,229 square nautical miles, 7118 in the Hebrew concordance, means end. And it is marvellous in our sight. So we're rolling back a year to minus 4443. Is more confirmation, but Yah says that will do. It's enough to convince even Satan itself it is finished. The four positions are, again, this is revision from the previous part 16, so you can just familiarise yourself again with those numbers. I don't have to read them. But the moon position 7,000 years ago was above Australia, which is Ephraim. The number 669 in Hebrew, or 668.4841 rounded up to 669. If you remember the height of the entrance there to the descending passage of the Great Pyramid, 668.4841, so we're rounding up to 669. But specifically, 6680 in the Hebrew concordance means to command, charge, give orders, lay charge, give charge to, order, etc., to command, appoint, ordain of a divine act. In Greek, 668 means to flee from, escape. 4841 in the Greek concordance means to suffer or feel pain together, to suffer with evils in the like manner with another. And this is exactly what Yah has gone through, and many of you have suffered with evils. And a lot of you don't know why. It's just been, all hell has been unleashed against you in your life. Well, so it has been in Yah's life, and he has had to overcome to lead all those others to he who overcomes will I make a pillar in my temple. In Hebrew 4841 is a pot of ointment, thinking about the burial, a seasoning, compounding, spice seasoning, anointing oils and spices for burial in the tomb. Pots, about 100 pounds weight of ointment. Of course, the Sabbath at 6, there was no time to anoint the body with oils. They had to leave for the Sabbath. However, as Yah pointed out in the previous part, that the anointing oils evaporated with the resurrection. So intense was the light. So this is what it looked like in minus 4443. The moon distance is 58.8 Earth radii, Isaiah 58:8. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning. And thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. So it is the glory of the Lord, is the Lord himself is the reward for those, the meek that inherit the earth. This is the redemption of this day.